Hello and welcome to Spectrum TV News at 2. I am Francis Edit, coming to you live from here, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Buhari insists he's leaving legacy of free, fair election. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to lead Commonwealth election observers in Sierra Leone. Plus, Defense Minister says Sweden will consider training Ukrainian pilots on Gripen fighter jets if asked. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Many thanks for joining us. We begin the news this afternoon with a report that President Muhammadu Buhari has insisted that he's leaving a legacy of free and fair elections in the country. Speaking at the launching of the biographies of the mother of Emir of Kano and Emir of Bauchi, Mariam Ado-Bayero, the president maintained that the election that led to the emergence of Bola Tinubu as the president-elect was free and fair. Buhari, who was represented by his chief of staff Ibrahim Gambari, noted that he is finishing his 8 years term in office strong and well, leaving behind many that the late Mariam Ado-Bayero's name deserves to be mentioned in the World Guinness Book of Records due to her unique qualities. Away from that, the Commonwealth Group has said that the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is expected to lead a team of experts in observing the general elections in Sierra Leone on June 24th. According to a statement published on its website, the Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland confirmed that Osinbajo had accepted her request to chair the Commonwealth Observer Group (COG). She expressed gratitude to Osinbajo for agreeing to undertake the important area of the work in deepening democracy across the Commonwealth. Reports say the Secretary General is said to have constituted the Observer Group upon invitation from the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone.
Experience, a humbling experience. We are what we are not because of our intellect, not because of our physical prowess, not because of our pedigree or political sagacity. It's just a gift from God. And power is the most ephemeral of God's gifts to humanity. 4 years or 8 years in this time, it's not more than 8 weeks. So I believe it's a humbling experience. It's a call to national duty. And by God's grace, we need the support of all of you, especially the media, for us to succeed. So I wish to implore on you.
In a separate development, the federal government has officially released the white paper reports of visitation panels to 42 higher institutions. Recall that the release of the white paper report was one of the demands laid down by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, during the union strike in 2022. Parts of the visitation panel's term of references was to review the performance of each institution assigned in the area of governance, academic standards, quality assurance, management of finances, relationships between the management and the staff, as well as the structures of the school's infrastructure and instructional materials. The visitation panels were also asked to look into the financial management of the institutions, compliance to procurement laws, and investigate the application of funds, particularly the special grants and loans made for specific projects, among others. However, the government reportedly failed to release the report. The ongoing Minister of Education, Adamu, yesterday presented to the public the white paper reports of 42 higher institutions, noting that the effective running of institutions depends on the recommendations contained in the document. On infrastructure development, the Minister of State, Ministry of Budget and National Planning, Prince Clem Abba, has credited the outgoing government of President Buhari for improving the nation's budget and infrastructural development. Speaking at his end-of-tenure press conference in Abuja, Abba stated that the Buhari administration recorded milestones in the budget cycle, infrastructure and healthcare delivery, amongst others. He said that beginning with the 2020 budget, the government was able to stress the need for integrated rural development, which he said was key to the potential of creating slums in the urban. Democratic Party (PDP) suit challenging the alleged Justice Adamu Jaro, who recalled that Shettima withdrew his Senate nomination on void personnel to protect the presidential votes ahead of the May 29 elections would equally be deployed to man from the special forces, which includes the Special Tactical Squatter Cannons and the Delta Development Commission (NDDC). Stated that the peace currently enjoyed across the NDDC bases continue to provide the needed support. We move to education, where the center said to be 1,000 candidates per day held the JAM public institutions are manned by where the African Union (AU), the Union Commission to create new Cold War, China, Russia, and the United States. Still in Africa, the Ugandan parliament has passed a bill that increases paternity leave from 4 to 7 days to enable male working employees to help their spouses. The chairperson of Parliament's Gender Committee, Flavia Kabahanda, said Uganda inherited the leave from neighboring Kenya, which accorded male working employees 2 weeks for paternity leave. The Parliament, however, rejected a proposal to provide additional leave days from the current 60 days to 90 days for female employees who give birth to more than one child at the same time. Reports say the bill has been forwarded to President Yoweri Museveni for approval. On the foreign scene, Sweden's Defense Minister Paul Johnson says Sweden will try to accommodate instructing Ukrainian pilots on Gripen fighter jets if Ukraine makes the request. Johnson said Sweden is eager to support Ukraine in all ways possible, noting that some decisions remain on both sides. It disclosed that the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense has requested a limited operational evaluation of the Swedish Gripen fighter system, adding that the country is currently working to meet the criteria of the request. Still on the foreign scene, President Joe Biden has named Charles Brown Jr. to be the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, a top military officer in the U.S. Brown, who is currently the Air Force Chief of Staff, would replace General Murray, besides General Colin Powell, who served from 1989 to 1993. Since Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is also black, it would be the first time ever that 2 African-American men simultaneously held the most senior civil and military positions at the Pentagon. Meanwhile, Biden also thanked General Milley for his years of service.
Today, I have the honor of introducing my nominee to be the next chairman of Line of Warriors. Over the past 3 years, accelerate change or lose. General, for decades to come, and to keep American people potential threat. We have to manage our technologies from AI to 3D printing 8 to 0. I urge the Senate to once again confirm General Brown with the same overwhelming bipartisan support.
Still to come in the news. Ahead of Saturday's clash with Flying Eagles. To stay with us. CBN has disbursed 173 intervention. According to the bank, the CBN activity, the bank disbursed the sum of 13.81 billion naira, amount that a participant could get at 5 billion, significantly increased domestic production and productivity, reduced imports, increased non-oil exports, and Still in business, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria MAN on the imminent recession in the manufacturing sector and negatively impact its in the sector. It also said these will lead to a high cost, especially the Monetary Policy Authority, to tackle it. In a chart with newsmen said the current standing with the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition was these in a statement in Abuja. A feeding program initiated by the federal government, children and women from vulnerable households, and improve food safety in the country. Dr. Ojo said the federal government of the NHGSFP core objectives by GlaxoSmithKline in Nigeria. They attributed the unavailability to supply chain shortage, scarcity of forex, and the impact of COVID-19. According to them, this factor led to an unprecedented increment in drug prices by over 300%. Speaking with newsmen, the President, Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, Adewale Oladibolu, specifically said the scarcity is due to supply chain shocks and the impact of COVID-19. Oladibolu said the scarcity is having a significant impact on patients' care, adding that the products have gone up by more than 300% as against what they used to sell, saying that the products are not readily available. The pharmacists, however, said that the association is working with industry leaders to resolve the shortages. And from the exciting world of sports, Brazil will be welcoming goalkeeper Carlos Santos back for their crucial clash against the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. The Flamingo shortstopper missed Brazil's opening 2 games against Italy and the Dominican Republic as a result of suspension. Goa is now available for selection again after serving a 2-game suspension. Brazil have conceded 3 goals in 2 games in his absence. The young Salico will take. Still in sports, Manchester United have secured Champions League football for next season after a 4-1 win over Chelsea at Old Trafford. Casemiro scored the opener for United in the 6th minute of the game, while Anthony Martial doubled United's lead just before the halftime. Bruno Fernandes added United's 3rd from the penalty spot after being fouled by Wesley Fofana. Marcus Rashford scored a 4th before João Felix laid consolation for the Blues. With this victory, Manchester United have secured their spot in next season's UEFA Champions League. On our entertainment news, Nigerian singer Adekunle Gold has released 3 new singles as he continues his fine form. Adekunle Gold has established himself as one of the artists whose imagery, music, and persona exquisitely complement his music and set him apart as a superstar, bringing excitement to Nigerians' pop scene. According to reports, the award-winning star has been in fine form in 2023 with his hit single Party No Dey Stop, reaching the top spot of Turntable Top 100. The 3-single pack comprises Do You Mind, Omo Eko, and the earlier release Party No Dey Stop. Mr. Easy have released their debut project titled Chop Live Volume 1. Mzanzi Chronicles under Chop Live Limited and Empower Africa Today on this first installation of the Chop Live music series. Chop Live sound system goes between Cape Town and Johannesburg, South Africa, where the songs were recorded in 2022 and 2023, tapping in with some of the region's most exciting talents. The 14-track mixtape takes listeners deep into the South African club scene that is currently producing some of the world's most thrilling music, with appearances from featured artists including Focalistic and Anati, On By Force, Ami Faku, and Amos Anziwala. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on the rest of your day.